Hey, we made it. We're live. Okay. Well, it's been a long weekend for me. We did Heroes for CF yesterday, and now we're doing Dragonlance today. If the DM should fall asleep mid-session, kick me or something.
No, we just all level and get 1,000 steel pieces.
No,
Okay.
we hit him with Tim Hortons. It'll fix it. Tim Hortons will save the day.
I find your terms fair.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons. I should.
You are getting very sleepy.
Maybe.
Your eyes are getting heavy.
Exactly. Okay, so when we last left our heroes, let's get to the overhead map, shall we?
Heroes.
Yeah, heroes. I use that term loosely, but you know. Okay, so when we last left, we're up in the top here. The party, most of the party is almost to that number 9. They're sort of right up in the top of the mountain peaks there. They were being pursued by, it's unclear whether it's mercenaries or hobgoblins or just what it is, but because you didn't see them, it was dark. And I think, was it whose idea was it to get the avalanche rolling? Was that Steven? He throws big rocks. Yeah.
I just wanted to throw the biggest rock I could find. I believe my sister threw one first, did she not? Who threw the first stone?
Someone threw some rocks. Who threw the first stone?
Someone threw one rock? Who could have done that? Was that a dwarf woman? I'm pretty sure it was one of the ladies.
I'm pretty sure it was Fred.
I was going to say, it definitely wasn't me. I was with Worm.
She just threw a little pebble, though.
Well,
And
relatively,
then we
yes.
started a landslide.
And I thought it was a better option. Big
Right?
rocks always better.
Clearly.
I helped.
And then we have sort of a side party thing happening where Tobin has run off, sort of leading the hobgoblin forces in the opposite direction of the rest of the party, and they pursued, and Rook went to find small Tobin and found them, and they're trying to now make their way back to the group on the mountains. So Tobin
probably saved our lives.
I think there was probably some of that going on, yes. Because
I think the knight and the dumb guy would have got us in trouble. Oh wait, I'm the dumb guy.
So Tobin and Rook, the sun goes down. You're not going to make the meeting point tonight. If you go right through the night, you might be able to reach them by morning. But you know, there's a lot of enemy forces up and down the road here, just south of Northfields.
Well, Rook, I would say it's probably the wise path to stay here, but I don't mind going on.
What I'm going to want to do is take the wee fella with me, and I'm going to just try to find some sort of, get back in the bush and find some kind of indentation and just cover ourselves and just wait it out.
Okay, so you're not going to try to make the rendezvous point. Okay. All right. So, the two of you buckle down, and up on the mountain, you had found some funny feathers.
Nope, they weren't funny. They were
funny how? Funny ha-ha? Funny ho-ho?
No. Funny fun.
Me?
Yeah.
They were clown feathers.
They were very large feathers that you had found. I think
Yeah, Kira's got them in her bag.
Kira found
What's
2
our
of them,
lore
didn't
knowledge?
she? What's that?
What is our lore knowledge? We've been traveling around these places for 5 years. What have we heard of?
Up in the mountains?
Be?
They
No,
could.
but we've been traveling around the world.
They could be big eagles, big griffins. But these are stark white, and you haven't ever heard of a stark white griffin or eagle. So who knows what it could be? Who knows?
I would hope you do.
Don't expect the DM to know things like that. I am on a wing and a prayer here, literally. Okay, so
That's where the feather comes from.
You cause the avalanche, and you realize that whatever was pursuing you up the hill has decided not to pursue any longer because of being night. They've gone back down. But Kira, maybe being a ranger and even our knight, you would anticipate a return force by first light.
Right.
So what would that group atop the mountain like to do?
This is a very defensible position. They have to climb a cliff to get to us. I say we stay and fight.
I do too, because I'm not done with my dinner.
Yes.
I'm with the dwarf. Yeah. I think we should just nap here. Do we want to set up any kind of further annoyances for whatever's coming up? Like more rocks?
The other option is a counterattack. They'll never expect it.
I still need to eat my
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Like a bayonet charge kind of thing?
Yes. I'll lead. You guys stay here.
The knight's like, I'll lead the way.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
don't have improvision.
so you discuss your options. What are we going to do, ladies and gentlemen?
Whatever. I'm going to do what my sister decides. I'm just going to eat with the dwarf. I'm going to try to match him mouthful for mouthful and enjoy myself while waiting for some shit to go down.
Okay.
I guess the best option is to go back to the overhang we found and not light a fire and get some rest. And
I'll take first watch
in the morning.
Okay. And you're assigning people to take watches, obviously? Okay.
Kira would definitely take a watch.
I can't see.
I can't either. We don't have a fire. But I'll take
Yeah,
a
but you have
watch.
ears, like you can listen.
Yeah, that's why I'll take a watch.
Okay.
I'll take the first one.
Do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do whatever I'm told.
Eat. You're so
By
thin.
my sister. I listen to my sister.
Just don't make a bunch of noise.
Just out of curiosity, did you guys see those rolls I just made? Does it even tell you I'm making rolls?
No.
Okay. I'm never quite sure if I've got the settings right, so you could totally lie and be like, "We know what you rolled," and yeah. Anyway.
Let me tab over to the Twitch stream and you just redo it.
Okay.
Go.
So the
Can't
sun
do it on the Twitch stream.
the sun comes up the next morning, and I'm gonna start with our pair down by the road. So as you guys wake in your little, what would you call that? A bivouac?
No, we'd call it a spider trap. It's where you kind of go in the hole, throw some twigs and stuff over top you, like a blanket or something, and it just kind of you bury yourself underneath it.
I like it. So the two of you wake, and maybe Tobin, there's some sap in your hair. Your top knot is maybe tangled. And
You're not laying on me directly.
but you immediately, I'm gonna say, Tobin, I'm gonna say you wake up first, and you immediately hear the sort of the clanking of armor and the precise marching of boots. Not one person, like rather large numbers.
I put my hand over Rook's mouth and it kind of like shake him awake to kind of stop him from being like, "Oh!" So, and I point to my ear, kind of let him know what's going on.
Rook's probably far too serious for that. He's all business. He would be like, yeah, you could kick him and he would wake up silently.
Rook be like kind of like this, going, "Just leave me alone, son. I know what I'm doing."
I take him and I kind of point to my ears, kind of give him an idea.
I'm just gonna kind of crawl out, just poke my head up through the top of the little shelter we made to see whether I can see what's making the noise.
Okay. So one thing that you notice immediately when you sort of lift the lid and let some of the morning air in, the temperature has dropped significantly. There is a cold wind blowing from the north. You are by no means are you near the road, but you can see it. And the road to Solace is filled with marching hobgoblins and more of the... Thanks, Artemis. And more of the dragon men that you fought. They are still wrapped, though. But they are moving in file. This is looking more and more like an invasion force, as opposed to any like an investigative group, or
Hey man, we gotta find our friends.
And they stretch up and down the road. This is quite a long column.
Would I know?
But they were already on the mountainside. That's what the ranger did last session.
Yeah,
on our side.
You guys had spotted, like, I'm going to ping the map here. So your first encounter was right about here where the road leads into the mountains again. There's actually 2 large mountains there, and there's a bit of a canyon that you have to come through. So when you guys were originally there, like 200 spilled through, right? This is probably... The 200 was probably the advanced force, and you're looking at a column now that's probably more numbering in close to 1,000.
Would know who the military force would be that would oppose such an invasion. Like, is there a city-state somewhere here that would have an army that would...
Haven would have a militia and a force. However, you know that these guys said they were from Haven.
Yeah.
Solace has a small military presence, but they're also loyal to Haven. I mean, they have the High Theocrat who's sort of in charge there, right? And then the other town in the area is Gateway, and Gateway is similar to Solace in that it has a militia and everything, but not any kind of...
not a sizable force to defeat this one. It's something that could go toe-to-toe with that, right?
That's right. That's right.
There's the elves.
The elves in Qualinesti, yes, for sure. And I mean, if you follow the road far enough south, you get down to like Newports, and there's another.
So there's nothing within a day's run either way that I could go warn and say, hey, you got to mobilize.
You don't think so, and you're not sure that you could actually move around very well with the number of forces that have kind of poured into the area. Hey, Lich, thank you for the bits.
Right. Then I'm going to suggest to Tobin that we hightail it to go find our friends. Once we get together, we can carry on with our squad.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're gonna head for the rendezvous?
Yeah, not like we're gonna do it stealthily, of course, like crawl around and stay low, and
okay.
I'm gonna cam me up as best we can with twigs and everything, just to break up our profile. If someone's got heat vision, they're gonna see us, but if it's like a human, it might make it difficult to spot.
All right.
Yeah, I can scout ahead a little.
All right. Back up on the mountain with our group that are encamped on the mountain. It's dawn. The light is just starting to come up, and you can already hear the noise of sort of scouts and things like that making their way up the mountain in your direction.
Kier would get people up and get them moving.
Okay.
For sure, if the boys aren't back yet.
Your friends have not returned yet. Kira, as you're getting sort of up and everything ready, they're standing on a rock to the south is a massive white stag.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Kira immediately ignores everybody else and kind of heads that direction.
If you take a few steps in that direction, it sort of waves its head in this massive rack of antlers at you, and then it bounds down sort of a crevice, heading down the other side of the mountains, down into the woods.
Okay, can I get to where it was standing?
Absolutely. And when you do,
okay,
you look down into that ravine, headed down into the woods. It's standing there. It's standing there waiting, looking at you again.
Okay, so she just kind of goes, like, wait a minute, and goes back and wakes everybody up, gets everybody up and moving, says, I know what to do. Come on.
Okay.
Like, she,
All
like,
right.
slaps Steven awake.
So,
All right.
so
I'm awake.
Kira says she knows what to do and is sort of waking everyone up.
I get my
Why do we
gear
always
on.
got to when I'm still trying to finish my dinner? Man,
Still working on
It's
dinner.
like, it's dawn. You should have been done a long time ago. Let's go.
I'm on second dinner.
Yeah, let's eat it on the go. I'll carry it for you.
Okay. Let's go.
The dwarf and I are going to take a picnic lunch.
Okay. So you guys move to the top of the ravine, the top of the rock where Kira had seen the stag, and Kira, you look down into the woods. It's not there, but you can see where it was.
Okay, yeah.
Are you gonna make your way
I have
down
a feeling
there?
that I'm kind of used to this.
Well, you
I
have
have
seen
a
the
question.
stag before. Yes. Go ahead, Steve. What's the question, Steven?
Does well, it's a Keith question.
Oh, okay.
Viking question. Has my sibling told me about this stag? Do I know this little
Okay,
backstory?
yeah, let's talk about this a bit then. So Kira sees a white stag fairly regularly and has maybe even followed it before. But have you ever told anybody about it?
Yeah, according to my backstory that you gave me, I
Oh.
told him and he thinks I'm crazy.
Right then.
Is that in the backstory?
Yes, you
I'm-
said that he doesn't believe me.
I'm checking the backstory
That's
right
fine.
now.
Whether I think she's nuts or not, I'm still going to follow her.
No, I didn't say he doesn't believe you.
You did, didn't you? Or was that maybe me and Keith talking about that?
Maybe that was you and Keith talking about it, but it just says that in Kira's mind, even though she never found proof of the old gods, still the gods of good must exist. Their signs are everywhere. The light stag led me on good paths. The wheeling bird foretold war, and the thunderclouds warned me of danger.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine she would have told him about this stag at some point.
Okay, cool.
Does this have to do with the big white thing?
Yes, little brother.
She knows what she's doing. Let's go.
Is everybody sort of hurrying after Kira?
I made sure that I teamed up with my sister.
Okay.
I wouldn't leave without heading out with her.
So when you go to get to see if Grend is good to go, Grendlead and Grinnick, you feel like you definitely notice the temperature has dropped. There is a cold wind blowing from the north, and from your height in the mountains, you can see thin wisps of smoke far to the north on the horizon.
Gwen, what do you think that is? Hunters?
When I say far to the north, like it would be, if you guys are sort of near the number 9 on our map here, so it would be miles to the north, somewhere out in Northfields. And you're just seeing...
Like they lit the fields on fire?
You're not sure. Only the dwarves have noticed so far. So you're busy with getting everybody down towards the stag.
I think there's there are forces at work here that we're not aware of. Do you have any ideas who might be up north?
No, lass. I don't feel good about this. We should probably get going. Let's go back to the team.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure we don't have friends waiting for us in the city.
Yeah. I'm worried.
Back to the group. Yeah, me too.
Okay, so the group begins to... Kira leads you down into the darkened wood. And as you reach its edge, a chill falls over all of you, as you know that no one enters this wood, that it's said to be haunted. And even as you arrive here, like the I don't know if you can see, like in the picture of the stag that I showed you, like the trees are sort of gnarled and twisted. The leaves have fallen off of them, and you have descended down a very narrow ravine which has a stream that probably after winter, like in the springtime, this would be a rushing waterway down the mountains. But right now in the fall, all the melt off is gone, and there's just a trickle of water making its way down. But as you stand at the edge of the forest, you kind of give yourself pause just for a moment, because this is sort of the forest that, a bit like the boogeymen growing up in Solus. You don't go into Darkened Wood. Meanwhile,
This is the first time I've moved with purpose since we ran away from Solus. I'm excited. Let's go.
Sister, are you sure about this? Are you sure?
Like, as seriously as Kira can be, she looks at Steven and says, I'm sure.
Good enough for me. Shing!
Okay, back over on the other side of the mountain. The two, our Kender and our half-elven ranger are moving along the edge of the mountains, and you've just started out. You haven't been very far from where you rested that night when you start to hear movement ahead, and as you look through the bush line ahead, there is like a line of sort of skirmishing forces moving towards you.
They're like beating the bushes looking for us, aren't they?
Well, they're definitely looking around, and they're blocking the direction that you're headed, Rook.
How tall are the trees from where we are?
Oh, the trees are pretty tall around here. Like, they're pine trees. I would say they're 15, 20 feet tall.
You want to scurry up and see what we can see?
No, I think we should scurry up and hide and let them go past, and once they get past, we'll climb down and get going.
Problem with that, though, is they see us up there.
If we run back that way, we run into an army. If we go forward and trip one of these guys, they're going to get us anyway. At least up the trees, we have a chance.
All right, I like your mad way of thinking. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So as Rook, as you sort of move to a tree, and Tobin, you're kind of a little unsure of it. Tobin, to the east, sort of behind you, not the direction that you're trying to go, you see a white stag looking at you through the tree line.
Hey, Brooke, do you see this? And I kind of point over at the
I look in the
stag.
direction. Do I see it?
Yeah, you do.
Maybe we should go that way.
And as Tobin says that, the animal sort of almost makes like a nodding motion with its head, and then bounds sort of up the slope, perpendicular to the approaching force.
I've seen lizard people today. Let's go after the giant stag.
What the hell? It's going to be one of those days. Let's go.
Right.
I kind of look at him and go, you got to die of something. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and Tobin do your best to follow the stag, and at times it's tricky, Rook, but then it always seems to show its head just when you're like, where the hell did it go? And it looks to be leading you towards Prayer Eye Peak. Prayer Eye Peak.
What number would that be?
It would be 13, but this map's a little off compared to the map that I have, so like somewhere like here.
Okay.
I'm gonna ping it. Somewhere
Got
like
it.
here.
I got it. Yep.
And when you look at Prayer's Eye Peak, I'm going to give you I have a note here for it. So, the flaming colors of fall surround you, and an autumn breeze ripples through your hair. To the southeast, the white-capped outline of Prayer's Eye Peak soars in the distance. Barely visible from here, there is a sharp crack that splits the peak as though two hands were pressed together. And I have an image for you guys here. Hold on. Show to players.
Oh, cool. Yeah, all right.
So you can kind of see that crack right up the center, right?
Yeah. It looks like two hands pushed together. It's cool. Got it.
Well, I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of crazy things in my life. That's pretty cool. Pretty wild. Or what I would say back then.
So you guys continue to follow, and the stag leads you almost to Prayer's Eye Peak. Now, the two of you you're almost to the peak when you've lost the stag, but now there's like an obvious trail leading to the peak. And Rook, you've talked previously about like counter tracking and things like that, but as you and Tobin move along, and the Kender's probably carefree, not afraid of anything, so not taking notice of things like this. But as you sort of occasionally stop to do some counter tracking, you notice that like the trail ahead to Prayer's Eye Peak is clear, but like when you look back, it's gone. Like you are on no game trail behind you, but ahead of you, it's clear.
Okay, I tell the little fella, I go, there is some strange magic here. Someone's helping us. Let's go. I'm just going to disregard trying to be sneaky now. I'm just going to grab him and say, we're running. We're going to hoof it down that trail as fast as we can.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem running. Let's do this. Something's helping us out here.
Yeah. Let's go with it before those things catch up to us.
Okay, so you reach the crack in the mountain, and you can see daylight on the other side. But you also know that if you pass through this crack, on the other side will be darkened wood.
You know what?
But the trail has led you right here.
Yeah, this led us here. Was one of our courses of action earlier on in the game that we wanted to go there. Everything's pushing us off that road here. Now someone's magically taking us here. Let's just go.
Do we take a beat? See if they meet us here? I mean, maybe it brought them here. It'll bring them here too.
Or maybe you and I are going on a different path than our friends. Let's just go.
All right, let's do it. You and me. At least I'm not alone this time. At least I'm not alone.
Okay, so the two of you step your way through that great chasm, that great crack in the mountain. And darkness sort of rolls in around you as the mountain blocks out the light. And
so we're going through Plumber Butt Mountain.
Exactly. And everything starts to get a little colder still as you move this way. Our other group on the other side. You are standing at the edge. There were some questions about if Kira was sure about this. And then do you make your way in?
Yeah, Kira's going.
Okay. Inside Darkened Wood, the trees, they're gnarled, they're bent. These tremendous, deep-rooted oak trees tower overhead. Through the grass and brush, you continue to move. And it's hard to see more than, a few feet or so in the forest. Occasionally you lose sight of your friends, and you're very quick to sort of hurry up and find them again. The dwarves, our dwarven brothers and sisters, you guys are finding it particularly tricky. The humans and the half-elf, they're tall enough to sort of push their way through things, but your guys' shorter stature is occasionally holding you up.
Lass, jump on my shoulders and tell me which way to go.
Sure.
Wait, is my eating buddy having problems?
No, we're good.
You turn around. You can't even see your eating buddy. You just see his sister sort of propped up a little higher than she normally is, looking around.
Well,
trying to buy tickets to an adult show.
I'm going to carry him.
You're going to carry him?
It's in a trench coat.
You big love. We appreciate you.
3 kobolds in a trench coat. Yeah.
if he, I can carry one of them fairly easily. Two might be tricky.
Okay.
I do not need to be carried. Thank you very much. After all we've been through. But you could walk just ahead of us so that we don't get lost in the brush.
What if we tied this rope to me, tied the rope to you, and then tie the rope to Steve? Then he could just pull us along.
What if Steve gets distracted?
Well, I guess we'll just be screaming
Steve's
for
not a friggin' husky. I'm not gonna just randomly wander off.
Sorry.
Can you put a
Seriously,
beer on it?
Are you sure? Are you sure Steve's not a husky? Are you sure he's not a husky?
Pretty sure. But yeah, I'll carry one of you, or we can rope us all together. However I can help.
I'd say we rope together.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
I will make sure that anything that might get in their way is in two pieces as the lead.
All right.
I will push logs out of the way and cut small saplings down, and
Okay, so you start helping a little bit more, blazing a trail essentially. Kira, you don't see the white stag again, but you do find a you found what looks to almost be like a game trail,
Okay.
and it looks like you're in this valley here.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's sort of winding to the south here, maybe for this gap between the mountains.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you make your way along this trail, and I think Jeff, you said as the knight you were going to try to get to the front of the party a bit more. So you and Kira stumble.
Correct.
You and Kira stumble into a clearing where the clearing has a scattering of bones across it.
From this distance, can we tell what type of bones?
Oh, definitely like humans or something. Humans or elves or...
Oh, some type of humanoid. Okay. Not little critters.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go around or do we want to go through?
How big of a clearing is this?
It's maybe about 50, 60 feet across, and maybe twice that in width. Like it's like a long break in the trees, and you guys can see the scattering of bones all over the place. Weeds have grown up like through eye sockets or through pelvis bones. Like nothing looks fresh, but like there's just, you can see the white bleach of bone everywhere.
Maybe if we
Does
stay
this
to
look like
the
a natural
edges.
clearing?
It does look like a natural clearing, yes.
Okay, it's not. Yeah. Okay, not man-made.
No.
So as I catch up with my two dwarven comrades literally in tow,
Yep. You sort of find the other two looking into this clearing, and now everyone can sort of look at the bones.
so what are we doing? Am I going in?
We could do like we did on the road, and I can go through, and if anything attacks, you guys can support me from the edges. Or we can all go around, or we can all just go through and see what happens.
What say the ranger?
I think we go around the edge.
I follow
Safer
her.
that way.
On the outside? Around the outside?
Mhm.
Around the outside. Around the outside.
To trailer park.
Okay.
Trailer park gnomes go around the outside.
Hey, I live in a trailer.
You can be a trailer park gnome. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with
Nothing
that.
wrong with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with living in a trailer.
Okay, so you start to lead them around the edge, Kira, when all 5 of you start to hear the lightest of music. It sounds like maybe a flute, and it's just
Kavir's here.
it's just sort of floating over the forest. It's not
Coming from the clearing?
it's not like a jaunty tune though. It's sort of like a haunting sort of dirge to the dead or something, but it's not coming from the clearing, you don't think, but it's definitely in the forest. You feel like it's near.
This music sings to us. What the heck? What should we do?
Fighting the
Hurry.
urge to step out into the clearing.
So,
Can we tell where it's coming from? I play
No.
a flute. I know you probably could.
Well, okay. Well, this I will tell you this. You don't think it's one flute or one musical instrument. It's being played from multiple points.
oh, excremental.
If you had to guess, like sort of one from the direction you just came from, one ahead of you, and one from the other side of the clearing.
I think it's musicians or army. I'll take musicians any day. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna try to attempt to whistle the tune back.
Okay. Just roll me a d20.
Yep. I'll get right.
No bonus or anything. We're just gonna see if, out of dumb luck, Steve can nail that.
No.
No. So Steve butchers it. At which point, you catch movement, and with a sort of a wet smack, our knight Benedict is struck in the chest with a large pile of some sort of animal scat. And it sticks to his beautiful knightly armor and slowly starts to peel itself off until it finally falls. And straight ahead through the trees, maybe about 40 feet, you see a smiling face of what looks like a boy, but he has little horns off the top of his head, and he grins at you, and then disappears behind the tree.
Awesome.
Well, Yellowed, I think your aim's a little off, little one.
And the music
Okay.
has changed. The music has changed from this down sort of haunting dirge to sort of something a little lighter, a little more frolicking.
All right. So
Whimsical.
I take whimsical, but I take every opportunity to say the word frolic.
Steve.
I think we should
very-
frolic into the
very-
clearing.
Yeah. Steve very quickly cuts the rope that's around his waist and puts his shield on.
Okay. At that
I don't
point,
want to get covered in shit.
at that point, a hail of scat rains down on the party. Steve getting his shield up to protect his beautiful hair, and if everyone would like to, just roll me a d20. If you get more than 10, you are pelted by a great deal of scat. If you get less than 10, then maybe just you're glanced.
What happens if you roll a 1?
I'll say somehow Kira avoids all scat. Oh, poor
You're standing too close to me.
Poor Grendelede.
Yep.
Grendelede is just covered. Everybody else manages to avoid it, and then you turn around, and there's this little dwarven shield maiden. Just
This was funnier when it happened to Benedict.
I disagree.
and you see half a dozen of these boyish creatures with the horns, and now you can see a couple of them, their legs are fawn-like, and they're about 50, 60 feet off of another side, and a couple of them have the little pipes that you've been hearing. The fluted songs.
Oh boy. Somebody tell Breeze that her brothers are here.
And with that, we'll jump back to the group that's at Prayer's Eye Peak. So the two of you make it through a very rocky chasm ravine that cracks the mountain in two. And when you come out on the other side, you're not looking down into a valley. You're looking right there into the woods.
Okay.
The trees are, gnarled. A lot of them have lost their leaves, but there's still some autumn color.
And the magical path is stopped in front of the trees?
There's no path on this side.
Okay.
And you said we're kind of at the peak?
Yeah, like here the forest is level with that ravine that you come out of.
Gotcha.
So Brooks gonna kind of see, based on where I am, because I know where I'm at this point, and I know where the rendezvous is supposed to be. Can I sort of see where it's supposed to be on this side?
Yeah, you've got to move to the west from here.
So I think I'm gonna tell the wee fella, let's skirt to the west, and just stay around. Like the mountain's coming down this way, and the forest is coming up this way. Just stay in between the mountains and the forest, and just keep going as best we can. There should be some kind of that way we're not getting entangled in the forest.
You do your best not to enter the forest. Is that correct?
Yeah, just skirt it. Just try to get around.
Okay.
That way we've got options. We can hide in the forest if we have to, or go back up the mountains if we have to.
Okay. So you guys do that for most of what remains of the day, and the sun is just setting. It's sort of twilight when Rook, some movement catches your eye, and you see a very large, what looks to be a very large hawk, perched up on sort of a bluff overlooking the forest, and it sort of stretches its wings and lets out a bit of a hawk-like cry, and it's sitting on the edge of the bluff, sort of looking about.
When you say it's a big hawk, like how big? Am I talking like a rock, or we're just talking like it's a really big bird?
A hawk, or is it like a huge?
Like an eagle-sized hawk. Like how big a bird are we talking?
The size of a horse.
Okay, it's a rock. All right, like rock size. Okay, too easy. I grab the little guy and it's just kind of skirt us into the trees.
Okay.
That way. And would I know anything about this bird, or just shocking me? Like I should never have seen a bird like that ever in my life, much less heard tales of it.
You have not. I mean, you've heard stories, but and maybe you've seen large birds of prey, but this is the first time you've seen
Nothing like this, right?
Anything like this. Yeah. Hold on, give me 1 sec. Okay, as the two of you move into the woods, it spots that movement. You're sure of it, and you see it push off. And as it pushes off to take to the air, it pulls behind it not like tail feathers, but the body of like a lion or a leopard, and then a long cat-like tail with feathers flared out at the end. And you see it glide off that perch and over top of the trees where you are.
It's a griffin.
Us or away?
Sorry, is it what?
Is it coming towards us or
Yeah,
away?
no, it came towards you. It swoops down off the bluff and sort of just above the trees where you are. You get a chance to look up and see its underbelly. It's got like a cat-like body, and it's tucked its hind legs in. It has claws of a eagle on the front of it, and sort of the head and wingspan of a massive eagle.
Yeah, all right, so it's a griffin. I grab the little guy, so let's get in the woods and get down. Let this thing come to us. If we have to fight it, we'll fight it like where it can't use its wing, where it can't fly onto us. I'm going to try to get us into some deep bush. There was some big trees.
Yeah, we probably just head in there, get some cover. Maybe it'll instinctively know not to go in there. We won't have to go too far.
Okay, yeah. Tobin, can I have you make your hide and shadow check?
click on your deck?
Oh, this thing's blocking it.
It should be on your character sheet.
Yeah. There you go. Hide.
Yeah, hide in shadows.
Sorry, I have things keep popping up.
That's okay.
There we go. In shadows.
Yeah, it'll be down under thief skills. There you go. Oh, perfect. So the two of you, Rook leads you into some deeper woods, and maybe you help Rook a little bit. The two of you find a place to keep your head down. You hear it pass overhead a couple more times, and it lets out a few other shrieks. And then everything goes sort of still and quiet.
This is why I keep you around, Rook. You're tall. You saw that coming.
Yep. Let's just kind of sit here for a bit and let it go find some other prey somewhere. Something that big's got to be hungry.
Yeah, I don't want to be its dinner. We can
Yeah,
relax.
neither do I.
Okay. So, do you guys stay in the wood line, or do you head back out?
Yeah. We're just going to stay where we are. Just stay and give it about good 10, 15 minutes so it can, just move on.
Okay.
Who
Let's...
doesn't want to be 15 feet into that wood line?
We'll jump back to our friends with their poop barrage from the satyr. So you guys were under bombardment. Unfortunately, some fared well, better than others. Grenlead is sort of covered in, yeah. So with that, they laugh, they dance, and then they rush off into the woods.
I think we should all have a quick squat and arm ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing you all standing there dumbfounded, covered in poop.
Do we hear a river anywhere close by?
Do you hear a river anywhere close by?
I know there's one to the south.
That's way south.
That's pretty
That's
far.
way south. Well, sure. You maybe know there's a brook not too far away, because you saw one. You sort of followed one down into the valley in the first place. So maybe you're sure that Kira could guide you to it.
I think we need to get cleaned up before we go anywhere. This is unseemly.
Yeah, we stink.
I wouldn't mind getting cleaned up, and you guys might appreciate it.
Good thing you already.
So with that, Kira, are you going to take them there?
Yeah.
You think you've got
You're just gonna fuss about it otherwise.
So you lead them through the woods. You don't hear the music anymore, and you arrive at the stream and start, washing these marks off. And the sun is going down; it's getting dark. And that's when you see her, Sir Benedict. There is a woman down the way in the creek bathing. She wears very, very little. And she turns her eyes and looks down the stream. And she's maybe 100 feet from you. And she has these striking blue eyes that just sort of take hold of you. And can I have you make a saving throw for me?
Sure.
We're gonna so saving throws are a little tricky. We haven't done them yet here. So you're gonna go into your character sheet and down to specifically the saving throw section, and you're going to roll me a saving throw versus spell. And you just use that button beside the spell one, and it should take care of it. Oh, you did it. So you're always trying to get above the number for saving throws. Just for the slightest moment, you felt yourself becoming enraptured and by her, just her look. You started to drift off to somewhere beautiful, and then you shake your head, and it's gone. And she laughs and prances her way out of the creek and into the woods, about 100 feet down from you. With just
Like,
sort of the briefest hint of clothing.
Do we hear the laugh?
No one hears this except our dear knight.
Well, if nobody noticed anything, I'm not saying anything. Just shake it off and
Okay.
get the poop off of my chest plate.
All right, so you go to cleaning that. You go to clean that up again. Anybody else doing anything while they're here at the creek?
I'm keeping watch because I'm clean, so.
Obviously, keeping an eye out for her to make a reappearance.
Okay.
Filling my always empty belly with lots of clean water.
All right. So with that, the sun sort of finishes going down, and you guys find yourself. It's dark in the forest. You've just cleaned everything up. There's fireflies sort of flitting about the creek. And considering what you know's on the other side of the mountain, everything seems sort of peaceful and tranquil here for a moment.
It just seems like a good place to stop and eat.
Yes?
I think, yeah, making camp would be good. I don't know if we should hunt in these woods or not.
Probably not. I would say use your rations, and if you do make a fire, make it very, very small.
Yeah. I think close to the brook would be a good idea, so we can put it up quickly if we need to.
Yeah, like dig it, like dig a pit to put it in.
Dig a pit.
Yeah.
Don't want the light going very far. We'll use some ranger tricks.
Yep.
I was listening when Rook was talking about it.
Yep.
Who's digging the pit? I don't have a shovel.
I'll dig.
Does anyone have a shovel?
Is Steven digging it?
Let me check my inventory. I don't think I have a shovel. I've got lots of stuff.
You guys can use
Is it
the tip of your
manual
swords for
labor?
that.
I'm not using my sword.
Sure you can. Dig around, use it, poke in, dig it. It's like using a bayonet. No problem at all. You're good.
I'll use my 10-foot pole and dig a trench.
Okay. Do you have a
I can
10-foot
use-
pole?
I do.
No, you don't.
It's in my inventory.
I can use
I mean, on
It's
one
first
hand-
edition. I
Okay.
have to have a 10-foot pole.
On one hand, I want to applaud you. And then on the other hand, I'm like, what's your knight doing with a 10-foot pole? That's
I
great.
was going to
I
give it to the
mean-
Kender to keep him distracted.
So be it. So be it.
He's using it to avoid water traps. Come on, what else is a 10-foot pole good?
How did you miss that joke? We were just covered in poop.
Oh, well. Oh, well. Okay.
I think my shield will work as a shovel pretty well.
All right.
Dig for the fire pit.
So you dig a hole for the fire pit.
30 minutes later.
Taking watches, I assume?
No,
Yeah,
we're probably
for sure.
safe in here. We can just all go to sleep.
Okay. Let's go back to
Here
the...
for sure is taking a watch.
Yeah, I'll take a watch.
So with that, you guys are... I'm going to go back to Tobin and Rook. Tobin and Rook, you're moving through the woods. The sun has gone down. What is the plan?
We're just going to stay on the inside of the woods till we get out of the hunting area of the griffin.
Maybe when
And
night
once
falls.
Pardon me?
Sorry, I didn't mean to over.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead,
Maybe
please.
when it's nighttime, we step outside of these crazy woods, see if we can find some normal bushes or something to hang out underneath, so we're not in the.
I'm just worried to think it's to hunt in the night, so I just want to give it enough time to get away, so like to move on. So I think we
Okay.
should move. Just stay, like not in the woods, but just kind of stay in with the trees just above us, so it can't swoop down.
All right.
And let's carry on down and see how far we can get before I
Captain,
think that we're.
can you give me a track roll?
Want me to do a track roll? Sure.
Or a D100, whichever is easiest.
Let's do a D100.
Because a track roll is a D100, so... Okay.
There you go. I got
So,
67.
you know, Tobin is you listen to Tobin's suggestion, and you think you've walked long enough to avoid this this griffin.
Then we'll kick out. We can kick out.
But then you realize you can't kick out. You've maybe somehow gotten a bit turned around, and you and Tobin, you feel like you and Tobin are probably deeper into Darkened Wood than you realized.
Oh.
We'll figure this out. Let's see.
Can we see this guy, or we're just stuck under tree? We can't see anything through the tree cover.
You are currently under tree cover everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Good news. Griffin's not gonna be able to see us. Bad news. We're here. Good news. I got my guitar.
Oh, that's good news. Don't you be playing that. I don't want to have to.
I wrote this great ditty about Agatha. You're gonna have to check it out.
No, not right now. Just keep it quiet.
So as Tobin like goes to play music, and you're like, whoa. I
snatched the guitar from his hand.
You notice that the forest here has dimmed a fair bit, and the stars above have faded altogether. The trunks of the trees are gnarled and knotted, and their bark is almost black. And ahead and behind and to your sides just lie deeper and deeper shadows. Between the twisted shapes of the trees, strange shapes begin to move about. It's hard to see their size and shape at first, and then as they move closer, you see ghostly apparitions of men and women dressed in armor and, tabards.
Oh, damn.
And they move about the woods sort of quickly. You sort of turn maybe to look if there's somewhere to run, and then you see a few more moving that way. In all, they soon appear to have you roughly surrounded. There's about 12 of these spectral minions standing amongst the trees.
Longsword out, and I say, give us the road.
I think they wanted to hear me play. Give me back my guitar.
I give him his guitar. What the hell? What's the worst that could possibly happen now?
Put it back. I go, all right. I get my staff out. My staff, but my hoop pack.
Okay.
And I guess I just kind of follow Rook's lead on this one. I'm surrounded by ghosts. I'm not quite sure what to make of. Let me ask this as a. So the gods are dead, but have there been ghosts around? Like, is that a thing that happens in Krynn? No, so this is like.
Well, you've heard of still spirits and hauntings, but I'm gonna say for the purpose of your story, you have never stood face to face. If these are ghosts, you've never stood face to face with anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool.
It is very neat. I think it could go well. This could be a good thing. We've been following some kind of thing. It brought us here, the stag, and we're okay. We've dodged a couple of big bullets. I think maybe we rushed out.
One of the spirits raises its spear at you, and says, "Ages ago, before the world changed, we were ordered to keep this land safe. That is the purpose. We failed. Now we repent by protecting the land while we can." And with that, they sort of all, there is a, you can hear ancient armor sort of in the wind as they shift together and then fall into formation with their shields close together and their spears pointed inward at you. And there's maybe only sort of 10 feet between you and this circle of spear and shields.
Okay. I hold my sword up. I go, give us the way, master. Give us the way. I don't want to say here. Give me a moment. Give us the way, Master Sergeant, and allow us to leave the woods, and therefore you can keep your task, and no one has to get hurt.
I like that.
So there's no reply to that, and they begin to step forward towards you.
And we're surrounded, right?
Roughly, there's a little bit of space that you could try to bolt.
Then I'm gonna just grab the little guy. Let's make a break for it and try to hit one of the spots. And I'm gonna hit one that'll, in my mind, if guessing which one's the closest to being north, to get us out of the woods. I'm going to try to make a dash for it.
So you're going to bolt. How about you, Tobin?
I think I'm very interested in what's going on here, but I... Alright, roleplay versus... I'm going to go with Rook.
Okay.
Go with Rook.
So the two of you make a dash, and the minions move to try and stop you. Can I have you each? We're just gonna roll initiative, and if your initiative wins out, I'm gonna roll the initiative button here, and if your initiative wins out, then you make the gap without getting attacked. If you fail the initiative, they're gonna get a sort of an attack of opportunity as you leave.
Fair enough.
Kira says assert dominance. What could go wrong? Assert dominance. Okay, the party wins. You guys dash through that gap, and you're making your run. When all of a sudden, like up ahead of you, you can see even more of these spectral soldiers in amongst the bushes and the trees. Like there's a second circle with even more of them wrapped around.
I kind of.
What do you want?
I kind of yell out because they probably know where we're at. What are great stag god king? Can you give us a sign? Keep going.
Nice, Tobin. Nice. All right. Well, almost to Tobin's exact. He just finishes what he's saying when a massive set of hooves hits the ground beside you, Tobin, as beside you, a broad torso of a man suddenly arises head and shoulders above the two of you, and he looks down from you. He looks down at you, his muscular arms poised, and he lowers a hand and he says, "Ye be trapped. Come with me to the judge of the forest, or be judged by these spirits." And you can see that his lower body is a horse, but his upper torso is a man. And there are a number of these centaurs that sort of crash through the woods around you, the two of you, and offer you to climb aboard.
I grab Tobin, throw him on the back of the closest one, and I hop on the other guy's back. And it's just like, let's go. You don't have to tell us twice. We're gone. No cowards in this army. Everyone's a chicken. Let's go.
Tobin, are you cool with that?
We're going with the new guy, right?
He doesn't have a choice. I grab him at the scruff of the back.
Rook sort of lifts you up onto the centaur, and then Rook moves for another centaur, I assume. Do you want to slide off the centaur, or do you stay on?
I'm gonna stay on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should go with this guy.
The centaur even leans back and he grabs your thigh, and he's like, "Pinch me between your thighs, little creature."
Okay. I was waiting for someone to say that.
He totally says that.
So basically, Rook's
Don't judge me, Artemis. Don't judge me. Let me have this.
Rook is riding bitch on a centaur. Oh God.
Rook,
Mr. Stick Up His Ass is riding bitch on a centaur.
Rook climbs aboard, and the centaurs tear off through the woods, and they even vault over the line of ghostly spirits, and you feel like just for a moment like you're flying, and then down they come, and you're thrown sort of into the back of their rippling bodies, and then and then back towards the buttocks of the horse, and then back against their bodies, and back against the horse. And the two of you have a very rough ride through the forest. Back at the stream.
Well, there's no centaur humping at the stream.
It's not humping. It's not humping.
That sounds like crashing into the rippling bodies of
oddly sort of rhythmic. Yeah. Who's taking watches?
I was taking a watch.
Tobin goes, my thighs are killing me. All right. So back at the river, the creek. Who's taking watches? We have first. We have second.
I was taking a watch. I don't know which one you want me on.
Okay, you want to take first?
Yeah, I'll take a watch too.
Kira
Which
takes
one
a watch.
did my sister give me?
Take the middle.
You've got the last watch. Your third watch. Your third watch.
Sure.
Can you make
Did you head start on breakfast?
Can you make a Steve? Make me a spell saving throw.
I don't know. No. I succeed.
Do you?
I decline.
Please?
Let's do that.
What the hell do I have to do here? Dave's?
A saving throw,
Versus
yes.
spells? Versus spells?
Versus spells, yes.
Yeah, I still want to say no, but here you go.
Oh, look at that! Look at that. Okay, so you feel a sort of dizzying confusion spell come over you.
And I notice? Awesome.
You can feel it just for a moment, and as you do, this small creature, just a little smaller than a halfling, sort of moves out, a little smaller than a kender in this world, moves out from the trees and approaches the dwarves where they're sleeping, Grinnick and Grenlead, and yeah, you think the little bugger is going after the staff, and whatever spell he tried to put on you has failed. So what does Steve do?
I stand up and roar, "Hey, don't touch the stuff! I will kill you!" And hopefully that'll wake somebody else up.
Okay, let's have all the sleeping party members roll a d20, and if you get I'm gonna say if you get an 8 or higher, you wake up.
Damn it.
Nice, Kira. Nice.
She got the poop, but she woke up.
Oh, Grenlead! What happened? What happened? Grenlead's having the best sleep ever.
She's actually unconscious. She's in a coma.
So the only one that wakes up is Grinnick. And Grinnick, as you wake, there is
Probably hungry.
well, hey, maybe. There's a little
His belly woke him up.
There's a little creature standing over you. It has a ridiculous sort of pointed hat that's flopped over. It has a long, pointy nose. A little green jacket. And he's got his hand almost on your staff. After what happened with the centaurs. What's going on here in the camp? I woke up and he almost had his hands on my staff.
Sorry, Offie's not here. Somebody has to do it.
No, nobody has to.
Crazy.
No.
So Grinnick, I'm going to give you an opportunity to react, and then we're going to roll initiative because you woke up and here's this little man reaching for your staff.
Well, I care about this staff so much, and I know that it's so important, and I'm pretty sure he's stealing it or trying to.
Mm-hmm.
I want to whack it right in the face with my hammer.
Okay, give me an.
I love your subtlety.
This little man was going for my staff, so I hit him in the face with my hammer. Let's make that roll. There's a certain kind of.
The question is which staff, the big one or the little one?
There's a certain kind of magic that happens in this game sometimes.
Oh,
It's
low numbers are better for it.
It's happening right now. Okay, so Grinnick, Grinnick, what's your Thaco? since we're not, since I don't have, here it is, 18. So you rolled a 15. So you hit armor class 3. Dude, you put your hammer square between his eyes, right off the old schnoz. Roll me damage for that.
Would I do this one?
5. It's in there.
It's already there.
Oh, is it there?
It's already in there.
Duh. Duh. Okay. Oh, you knock him out cold. Like, you just smash him. He takes a few steps back. He reaches for his what is now a broken nose.
I'm gonna stand over him and go, lad, that's my staff.
Good job.
He is out cold. You have laid him out. The little Tweety birds are around his head. I'm gonna say now everyone wakes up. And
Except for Krynn to lead.
and lying there in front of your brother and friend is, a creature a little just shy of 3 feet in height. You're pretty sure. I'm gonna say our ranger. You're pretty sure it's a brownie.
No, they're mean.
I know. She didn't even sell you a cookie, and you knocked her out. You knocked her out.
Oh my god.
There is a brownie with curly little shoes and a funny pointed hat, and you've KO'd her, you filthy dwarf.
Yeah, I got poop thrown on me. I'm in a haunted forest. You don't mess with my staff.
So what would you like to do?
Does someone want to try to wake this thing up and interrogate him?
Simple plan.
Can I just say that people's saving throws tonight have been on point? Try to score brownie
You're
points.
welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Except for the poop dodging.
I didn't know the trees in the forest had such low-hanging fruit.
Keep going.
Okay. So what do you? So is someone waking up the brownie, or do you just do away with it?
I'm going to put a sword point on its chest and wait for someone to tell me if I should push or not.
Okay.
What do I know about these things?
Well, it's a fey creature, and
It takes to the face.
other than having heard stories about them, Kira, like, mischief, trickery.
Okay.
I'll get a
But are they like
scoop some water out of the
inherently
brook and-
dangerous?
You don't think they're inherently dangerous?
Just tricky.
Yeah. What did you say you were doing,
Curious.
Jeff? What does Benedict do?
I was gonna scoop up some water from the brook and throw it in the brownie's face and wake it up.
Just scoop it up in your helmet or something, or your shield?
I don't have a helmet. I can't cover the skullet, so
Oh,
I'll
that's
figure
right.
something out. I'll.
You can throw my water skin.
All right. I guess we
Okay.
can refill it from the brook.
So you wake up. How much water do you pour on him?
I pour until it's empty, and then I get another one.
You drench him down.
Waterboard the guy.
Okay, so he quickly wakes up coughing and whatnot, and then he reaches up and he's like, "Oh, my nose, my poor nose," and it's quite literally like a pointy nose that has just been broken sideways, mashed across his face by the warhammer.
I'll offer to set it for him.
Okay.
I'm not going to be gentle, but I'll reset it for him.
you reset his nose.
Yeah.
For just a moment, like you hear the snap as you move it back into place, and for just a moment you see the whites of his eyes start to roll, like he's gonna pass out again, and then
I get another water skin.
he gets control of himself. He gets control of himself, and he says, "Why did you hit me with that hammer?"
I don't know. I was asleep. I don't even know what happened.
He's not looking at you.
You're trying to take my staff, lad. You can't take the staff.
But it's my... it's my job!
You picked the wrong job there, lad.
Yeah, guess what mine is?
You need to... Fine, then you need to take the staff. You need to take the staff to the Forest Master.
Who is the Forest Master?
Who is the Forest Master? That's like, who is the sun? Who is the Forest Master? The Forest Master is the Forest Master.
Why does he want the staff?
I don't know. I don't ask him these things. We were all told if the staff comes to the forest, we're to take it to him.
What staff?
The blue staff, and even though your staff is not currently blue, he points over at Grennick's staff.
I'm gonna look at Gren and go, "Did you hear that, lass? He knows the color."
Who else is looking for the staff?
There's me.
The weird lizard things on the road?
There's the nymphs, and there's the fawns, and myself. Oh, this hurts.
Well,
Hey.
let me tell you, anyone who wants this staff is going to have to go through my sword first.
As you know.
And mine.
You're all very, very aggressive.
We usually are with thieves.
Maybe you could just come with me.
Maybe you should have started with asking.
He says, nobody comes into Darkened Wood that's of any... Oh, never mind. And he tries to stand up. Do you let him? Like, the sword is on his chest. He tries to push that away and stand up.
He's not pushing it.
Okay.
Unless someone tells me to let him up.
Could someone take this large piece of metal away from my chest? I mean, clearly, there's 5 of you, there's 1 of me. Let's do the numbers here.
Are you a poop thrower?
Am I a poop thrower? Oh, you've played with the fawns today.
I would say they played with us.
I'm in no mood. I'm in no condition to fight the 5 of you. Look at my nose.
Let him up, Steven.
Lucky little bastard.
He gets up, wipes himself off his nice little green coat. He adjusts his hat. He moves over and looks down into the creek at his reflection. In the 3 moons are shining above, and he looks down at his reflection. Oh, that's gonna make it hard to get a date. All right.
It's hard enough with that jacket.
This is a good jacket, my man. Good sir. Know your proper attire when you see it. And he straightens himself out.
I'm just saying you got blood on your jacket, that's all.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Thanks to the dwarf. Thanks to his hammer.
I would say thanks to your own actions. Have some manners. Be civilized.
Oh, have some fun, tight ass.
I did. Hit you.
I did. I reset your nose.
With that, he says, "Follow me." And then starts.
Wait.
Oh boy.
Before I turn brownie into a kebab. Sister, what are we doing?
I mean,
It's a great short.
we don't have any other path at the moment. We might as well.
And clearly there's a number of creatures looking for us.
Yes.
So we
perhaps.
Benny, do you agree?
If we go to the source and talk to this forest master, we can either move past it
Perhaps
or
we can get
deal
safe
with it.
passage or something.
Yeah.
Eating
me,
buddy
brownie
and
boy.
sister?
I'm going to lean over and tell my sister quietly. It's really up to us, lass. We have to make sure this gets to where it needs to go. Watch my back. Watch the staff.
I wanna ask Brownie boy, just what the forest master wants with this staff anyway. It's not his. What does he want with it?
A man came to the forest and spoke to the forest master and told him that the staff would be coming here.
What man?
I don't know. There's been a lot of strange people around lately.
Like who?
Like strange people. Like you.
Fair.
Like all of you. People don't come to Darkened Wood. You know that. It was an old man. Came and spoke to the forest master. Said the staff would be coming here. And that we were to retrieve it and bring it to the forest master.
What did he look like?
Like an old man. He had a gray beard.
He looked like a man, yeah.
He looked like a man.
Just so you know, my wife makes, like, she would never do the impression, but she looks like a little Mrs. Swan. She's a teacher, and the kids at school even say, Mrs. Hall, you look like Mrs. Swan. It's really great. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
I didn't see it until I heard the kids describe her as that, and then I was like, yeah, they're right.
I'm on board with that. You just mentioned it now, and I'm like, oh yeah, 100%.
So what's the couch been like?
Yeah, so that's what the brownie says. He goes, I don't know anymore. So the forest master tells me and all the other creatures that he has that they have domain over that we should watch for the staff and bring the staff to him. Them.
Where is the forest master?
Not far. If we stop all this chatting, we might be able to get there.
Who's with him?
Who's with them? I don't know who's with them right now.
Is the old
What do you
man
think?
still there, or did he leave?
Oh, no. The old man said he had things to do.
What do you think,
Places to
brother?
want people to see.
What do you think, brother? The blue lady wanted you to have the staff, so I think it's up to you. Do we follow?
I think we have no choice. Plus, we're a good band. We could take them. Let's
Decided. I will
Done.
grab the brownie. And I will hold the brownie in one hand and tell it to point what direction I'm supposed to walk.
He sits down in your hand and like a sailor at the head of the ship points off into the woods.
I plow through that direction.
Okay.
Now remember, I can throw something the size of you very hard into a tree.
go. Or you could eat them.
Oh, how do you taste?
And I think with that, we will take our break for tonight. Go hit the washroom and get something to drink, and we will be right back.
Yep.
I'm gonna go eat some brownies. I'll be right back.
To save you 17 times, so you're good.
Okay,
Oh,
so
we might actually make it to Gwen.
we're back, and the captain had to run and take care of some business, so we're down Rook right now, but that's okay. I realized while I was upstairs getting the coffee maker going, we sort of forgot about Worm, but we will assume that Worm has been sort of trailing the party the entire time, and makes
Swarm around.
exactly. Worm is there. So
What did Worm roll for the poop? Just so I know.
why don't you roll
Yeah.
for Worm's poop right now, Jeff? Give us a D20 roll.
Yeah.
Give me a
This is
crit.
important for later.
Oh, poop.
That she did pretty good dodging poop. Pretty good. So
Well, she's learned from the best.
So listen, you are led by the brownie.
And as someone pointed out in chat, a magic brownie.
A magic brownie. That's right. Who pointed that out? I totally missed that.
Yeah, I missed the joke too. I was so devastated.
Anyway,
mad at myself.
it's totally a magic brownie. Totally. So you get led through the woods by the brownie, and eventually brings you to sort of the most dense part of the forest, it would seem. But soft green grasses carpet the floor, and atop there's like the entire canopy of the forest looms above you, and fireflies dance and leaves fall, and everything is really quiet here. And yeah, its name. So here, this is funny, right? So I didn't
Let's hope so.
I didn't technically name the brownie because I wasn't sure the brownie was going to be the one to get you there. So I went upstairs and I go to my daughter. I go, "Give me the name of a brownie." And she looks at me like, "What's a brownie?" I go, "It's like a fairy. Like, give me a name of a fairy. Is it a boy or a girl?" I go, "It's a boy." And she's like, "Henry?" I'm like, "Okay."
All right.
The brownie's name is Henry.
For comedic purposes, I was hoping for Chuck. But
I
Henry works.
actually wanted to call him Humperdinck. After Princess Bride, but no, we're going with Henry. It's Henry the brownie. So you're led to this place, and there's a gathering. You can see other little creatures peeking at you from behind trees and stumps that sort of look like Henry. You can see creatures that sort of mold with the trees, and some of the trees around you even move about a bit, and the forest feels very alive here.
Henry, the
It's
trees moved. Is that
It's-
normal?
It's fine. Listen, it's fine. You're with
I can
me.
still throw you.
You're with me. It's fine. If you throw me, then you might have troubles. But when you're with me, it's fine.
I'm gonna hold them out front.
So while you move along like that, to our two dwarves, Grennick and Grenlead, you feel like the eyes are on the two of you. That even though, the whole party is here, minus your Kender and your ranger, Rook, everyone is sort of, you feel like they're watching the two of you. And you then pass the woman that you saw at the stream, Benedict. She sort of,
I give her a wink.
she sort of steps out from behind a bush, and she puts a little bit of a pout on and says, "Oh, Knight, you would have had so much more fun if you'd come with me and not Henry."
She's still naked?
Mostly.
Oh, jeez.
Mostly.
I can imagine Benedict's wink is just like so obvious and just like,
Ahoy, me lady!
because he has no idea how to flirt.
No, exactly.
No.
So, as you're led through, you then see a group of centaur milling about, and Tobin and Rook stand with the centaurs, and they have a,
Hey, friends, you are live.
Sorry, I zoned out there for a second.
yeah. Rook and yourself are standing with the centaurs at this glade, And Rook is like trying to sort out his feelings from a mildly erotic ride. And since Rook's not here, I can pick on him like that.
That's awesome.
He's like, so everyone is sort of back together here. And as you come...
I would want to...
Yep, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I would want to keep the dwarf brother and sister in the middle of the group and sort of have the rest of us around them, knowing that they want the staff.
Okay.
If nobody objects, I'll be right up front because I'm a meat shield. Lets me do my job.
Sure. So, Captain, just so you're aware, everybody has been brought together by their forest friends, the centaurs and the brownie, and everyone is now in this sort of at the edge of this sort of large glade, this large hill. There's like the trees seem alive here. There's more brownies, more. There's like dryads in the trees. There's trents here, or at least it feels that way. Jeff's woman from the river, Benedict's friend from the river.
Not Jeff.
she's waving to Benedict, and your little brownie, who we're calling Henry. Henry has sort of pointed the way through the. And now you're all together. The centaur are standing with you, and it's at this point that at the top of the grassy hill that you're sort of at the foot of, there's an overhang, and there stands this massive unicorn. Its head raised high and proud, but you can see that there is there's a sadness in its eyes, and to our staff wielder, Grennick, you hear in your mind, "I am the forest master. You have entered my great forest, and I grant you passage and the aid of all creatures while you remain within our borders." At which point, a whole bunch of fawns bring out basically picnic baskets and set up a feast for
I came armed, I throw my poo.
For the group of you.
Don't eat the fairy food.
On that, I throw Henry in the air really far, catch him, and then put him down gently.
Okay. He's a little like...
Just enough to give him a little scare there, and then I'd put him down.
Yeah, and he's like, ha ha ha. And then he jumps down and sort of makes his way in amongst other forest creatures. The unicorn descends from the hill as everyone sort of sits down and begins to eat. And then looks upon all of you, and you can all hear this. The unicorn says, "Some days ago, a great and glorious being came among us. He held great wisdom and power, rare in the land today. He foretold your coming and left you a message that I am to give. You must straightway head for the Eastwall Mountains. Within 2 days, you must be within Zack-Saroth." As the unicorn says that, hi Crimson, you have a flashback, Grenlead, of the city in the swamp and where you met the blue lady. The word Zack-Saroth, like with everything here, all these fey creatures around you, that word comes out like a black blot of darkness in the unicorn's speech. There, If you prove worthy, you shall receive the greatest gift given to the world. Those were his very words. The greatest gift given to the world. But you must be within the city in 2 days.
How far is that from here?
A week. A week and a half. So if we look, you guys have heard of the city of Zaxaroth. So if we look at our map here, and we are currently over here just not far from Purzai Peak. Do you see where I'm pinging?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have to cross the mountains, cross the plains here. And here is the East Wall Mountains. And then beyond the East Wall Mountains, there was a city called Zaxaroth. And when the cataclysm came and the continent cracked, waters rushed in. And they formed what is now known as the New Sea over here. And it's believed that Zaxaroth's sunk into the sea.
Hey, it takes longer than 2 days to get there. How are we going to do that? I just figured out the math.
With that, the unicorn looks at you and through its sad eyes says to you that all of its allies will assist you. And as she says that, a flight of something large flies overhead, and a large white feather comes to land on sort of the picnic in front of Kira. And as these winged creatures sort of like bank around and swoop in on the hill, a herd of Pegasi, as white as Lunatari, the white moon itself, land. And the unicorn says, I bid that you eat, and then my friends will carry you to Zaxaroth.
Dwarf,
Cool.
challenge on. Mouthful for mouthful.
Ruben starts playing his guitar and says, "This is for you!" And proceeds to play something just awful. But really thinks he's great.
Okay.
Just
So begins to play just the most off song for the occasion.
yeah. He's so happy. He's so happy about everything that's happening. He can't help himself.
And the unicorn looks back to the dwarves and to the two of them and says to Grenlead that your journey to the east was not in vain. The old man told me you've awoken something. The staff needs to return, though, to the city to complete its journey.
Nom, nom, nom.
I'm speechless, apparently.
Okay.
Which might be appropriate in the situation. What I'm thinking about is I want to find a time to pull my brother aside and tell him, about my dreams of Zaxaroth.
Okay.
And I think I'm just trying to look dignified as
I think you
important
can probably speak to Grinnick now. Everyone is so busy eating. There's centaur moving about. There's fawn serving more plates of food, and yeah, you feel like nobody's going to take notice if you have a little chat with your brother.
There's a
So
Kinder playing music. It's great.
Yeah, Tobin's playing horrible music. There is no focus on you right now.
So, Grinnick, I think we need allies, and they seem to know more about the staff than we do. they knew it was coming. I think we've been led to this place, but I've been dreaming of a terrible place, and I believe it's Zaxxaroth.
Sorry, lads. Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? We have been pretty busy, I know.
We've both been having dreams, and this one weighs heavily.
Do you think they're connected? Our dreams?
I think they are, and I think that Zaxxaroth is, there is something terrible waiting for us in Zaxxaroth. And I think we need to be ready. I think we need to go, but I think we need to be prepared.
Aye, lads, I agree, but we should probably tell the group.
I think so.
I've been watching the whole time because he's supposed to be eating with me.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not paying attention because I'm shoveling food in my face. But
Yeah, you're eating well, you're drinking well. And
Is the Forest Master still here?
sorry, is what?
The Forest Master, is he still here? Okay.
Yeah, the unicorn? Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to avoid eating meat at this feast if there is meat. Out of respect for the fawns that are serving us.
There is meat. There is meat.
I will
I'll
eat
stick
his
with-
share.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys can split it.
We'll arm wrestle for it, dwarf.
Thank you. Yeah, there's totally meat. They don't seem to mind.
Kira
What-
spends most of the time, like she eats a little bit, but for the most part, she spends most of the time with the Pegasus because I have a soft spot for them.
Okay, so
And
you
for like the first time ever, Kira looks like she looks younger than she is.
okay,
I'm
and you're
excited
gonna
to see them.
you're gonna move up the hill to them.
Yeah, I kind of bring. I'm assuming there's sugar somewhere, and bring like sugar cubes to them.
Okay.
Honey.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to. Tobin is gonna walk over to. Well, he's gonna try to walk over towards the Forest Master, but kind of like deferring. See if if it's okay if I go over there. Sort of give with my body language.
Yeah, sure. You may even hear in your head like, it reaches out to you and says like, come closer, curious one.
He kind of joins over. Great, thanks, because I have so many questions. Were you the stag? Did you bring us here, or are we here with you because we just happened to get here and they brought us here, or did the guy send us here? Was that different, or were you working with that guy to get us here?
The Forest Master looks at you and says,
Tobin's very excited.
"The stag brought you. The stag brought you here."
Yeah, we were running from those lizard people. They got the mummy lizard people, and we were kind of surrounded by some ghosts, and we saw. Wait, no, hold on. We saw
Get
a
it in the
stag
right
out. Yeah, sorry, we saw a stag, and Tobin kind of went that way. We followed it up the mountain. It kind of brought us here. I was wondering if maybe you had sent some kind of, I don't know, like spell, or maybe you had an emissary that brought us to you, or if we just got here because.
So the unicorn the unicorn looks at you and says, "No. The white stag is an incredibly powerful boon. It was a white stag that led Huma to victory. It was a white stag that led the Lightbringer, the first Lancer, to where he needed to go to defeat ancient evils. If you have seen a white stag, little friend, you have been honored."
Well, that's fantastic news because they brought us here. You're gonna take us there. It's almost like we're just going on a free ride. It's kind of nice.
Free
We went out for 5 years. It was horrible. Never got a spread like this. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go play some more music.
The unicorn maybe laughs. It lets off sort of a bit of a huff and a whinny, and just for a moment maybe doesn't have such sad eyes. Okay, when you reach the top of the hill, Kira, you're almost to them when from in the ranks of the Pegasi, a massive stallion pushes its way to the front with a huff and says, "We don't leave until the Forest Master tells us to."
That's fine. I was just bringing you some sugar.
And he says, "Sugar?" A couple of the other ones are obviously interested in your sugar. And move over to you and gladly take it. The big stallion that can speak, though, he says, "Do you know why we were summoned? We are to take you somewhere, I assume?"
Yes, someplace in the swamp to the east. Do I know this place, like, that they were talking about?
Zaxaroth. You've probably heard of it. It was a city that would have gone, it would have been a massive city in the area that was destroyed during the Cataclysm.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I would explain that to them.
He says, "Zaxaroth? What's in Zaxaroth?"
I don't know, but it seems fate is leading us that way.
And I suppose we're to be your steeds.
It would assume it would seem so. They couldn't have chosen finer creatures.
He snorts and says, Flattery. Flattery works with those fawns down there." And he motions at the fawns jumping around. He says, "Come closer."
Step forward.
He's huge. Like if the other one, like, horses are big.
Yeah.
This particular Pegasus is really big for,
So he's a Clydesdale.
Yeah, he's really big. He leans down and starts sniffing you.
So the feathers that she picked up, does it look like they match their wings?
Yeah, totally.
She would reach into her pack and she said, "I found these of yours."
Your elf.
Of a sort, yes.
Your mother
You
or
have a
your
name.
father?
It was my... Oh, God. I don't remember it. I don't have my backstory in front of me.
I think it's your father because we talked about
My dad, okay.
daddy issues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. It was my father.
We are allies to the Quillinesti. What is his name?
We have not spoken in many years.
I put you on the spot, but you can make up anything you'd like.
His name is Theron.
Hold on, I better take a note of this. So give me a moment, because otherwise I won't remember.
Yeah, DM, take a note.
Yeah, take a note. Look at this good DMing. Good DMs take notes. Take notes.
To be fair, I've done 12 or I've done 13 sessions for our Friday game. Literally taking 2 notes the entire time. So
good on you. Good on you. Sorry, Theron?
No,
Yeah,
she said Thorgrim.
Yeah.
She did not say Thorgrim. I'm sure of it.
Therin.
Erin.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is Kira. This is Kira's father. So with that, he says, I think I know of your father.
I apologize.
Why is that?
He's a complicated man.
Aren't all elves complicated? You live so long.
That is true. Yes, and some of them seem to be slow learners.
And your name?
You may call me Kira.
Kira, daughter of Theron of the Colonesti. When we go, you may ride me.
Thank you.
Although perhaps I should take that large dumb one. As he looks
Who is now dancing around in various percentages of undress, swinging around everybody who will let me swing them around.
Okay. Totally.
Making sure they can see all my muscles, occasional pose downs.
So everyone finishes their meal. Henry the brownie taps his hat to you as you leave. Rook continues to question his strange ride.
Yeah, his mildly erotic one that he had to deal with. Yeah.
We don't ever talk about that again.
Okay.
Let's make it very clear.
You're gonna have another one soon.
Say one more word. I freaking dare you.
What happens in Darkenwood stays in Darkenwood.
Yep.
You know,
Kira would ask
stays in Darkenwood, and you don't ever, as long as you live, say another word.
Kira, the Pegasus tells you his name is Argus.
Argus. Okay, so she would ask him, with your permission, I would like to use these to make arrows.
He nods. He's like, once shed from our bodies, they're little use to us.
Okay. I would not want to do this without permission, so.
With that, the Force Master reminds you that you only have 2 days. 2 days to reach Zaxaroth. That's what
she turns around and like sees her brother. She sees her brother doing what he's doing and just sighs loudly and goes to Argus. She just says, "Unfortunately, he shares my blood," and then goes down to like put him back together.
Okay.
Slaps him around a little bit.
So the Force Master reminds everyone 2 days. The Sylph gives Benedict a small sprig of mistletoe from the forest. Henry wishes you well, and everyone sort of what happens in Darkenwood stays in Darkenwood, and you're sort of guided up towards the Pegasi.
I'm gonna toss Henry a sweet roll out of my pack.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Do they have any?
I say goodbye to the MILF.
Yeah.
Or Sylph.
The Sylph. The MILF.
So
It's
I'm going
Stifler's
to grab
mom.
as many honks of meat that I can in my backpack
Okay.
as I'm getting my gear on. Hopefully for another couple days of meat there, for the dwarf and I anyway.
Yeah, when he's not looking, I'm putting more in his bag too for me because I know he's gonna sneak them and say, "Oh, this is mine." I'm gonna say, "Nope."
That backpack's stuffed.
Okay. Tobin, as you're getting ready to leave, a fawn comes over to you, and he hands you a scroll.
Oh, what is this?
These are some early lessons on musical instruments and singing on key. We think you could use them best.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Fare yourself well, friend.
Toba doesn't know what to say. You know what my mom always said? When you don't know what to do, just give a hug. And I'm just going to give the fawn a hug and say, thank you for the present. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to learn all about how to sing about fawns. And I'm going to come and serenade you next time I'm in town.
They all nod and whatnot. So as everyone makes their way up the hill, Grenlead, you're sort of the last, and the Forest Master comes over to Grenlead and says,
Awesome.
You'll need to wipe." Nobody else can hear this. This is telepathic. You'll need to wipe the black stain from your mind if you are going to help your brother.
Thank you. I will do my best, and it helps to know that we have an ally. Tell me, Forest Master, will you be coming with us?
A darkness grows to the north of Darkened Wood, and I will be needed here. The old man told me simply to give you any assistance I could. Argus and his harem will take you across the plains to Zaxaroth.
Thank you, Forest Master.
You will need to focus your mind. You will be awakened once you reach the ruins.
What must I do?
She then says, you're a party of 8. If what the man told me to be true, there is only one of you not expendable. And with that, she looks, they look to your brother. And you feel like her implication, the unicorn's implication is that you and the others need to perhaps give your lives, but Grinnick can't. Grinnick has to survive the journey. Whatever that takes.
We will do what must be done. Fight well, and I pray we meet again.
With that, the unicorn nods, and you guys sort of climb aboard your Pegasi. They don't
Does Worm go with Benny?
No, actually. Well, it doesn't go on the same horse as the same Pegasi. But when the city of Zaxaroth was mentioned, you all maybe noticed Worm perked up a bit and became a little more attentive following that conversation. And when it was time to go, Worm was more than willing to climb the hill and get aboard a Pegasus.
That's out of character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even my
The
dumb
boy's finally showing interest in being a hero. My job is being done.
Worm maybe was even like, "Can I carry your shield for you?" Like whatever was going to expedite this.
It's a very proud moment.
You've seen the squire turn the corner at this point, brave
Yes.
knight.
My lessons are finally getting through to the boy.
Sure. So you mount the Pegasi and off you go into the night sky. The flight of Pegasi winds its way through craggy canyons, steep on the sides with, starlight overhead as they literally bound off of cliffs to gain further lift. it's just sort of a wild ride through these canyons until finally they break out over Prayer's Eye Peak, which is somewhere around over this wood here, and they begin to glide eastward. And soon after you leave that canyon and you leave Darkened Wood, all of you feel sort of a deep sleep overcome you. Now, I know half-elves are partially immune to sleep, but even the two of you succumb to its power, and it's not long before everyone is sort of leaning into the sort of the mane of their Pegasus, fast asleep. When you awake, there is sun on your face. And there is tall grasses blowing around you. And the grasses have even gone to seed, so you can see the seed blowing across a plain, not a swamp. You are in the plains, and Argus is the only Pegasi that remains with you. You can see.
Is the grass taller than the dwarves?
Oh yeah. You can see the East Wall Mountains though to the east. So the Pegasi have not taken you over the East Wall Mountains. Artemis,
Can we make it?
Well, you don't think you're there yet.
I would think the rangers would know about where we're at because they could see, right?
Well, they know that the coastline is covered in swamp where you were going, and you are definitely not in a swamp. And the mountains to the east look like the East Wall Mountains, and you have to get to the other side of the East Wall Mountains.
That's right.
So
Okay.
Argus says to you, Kira, there are dark shadows in the sky, and my harem will take you no further.
Do you know
How
what the
much time
shadows
has
are?
passed?
Death on black wings. And as he says that, Grenlade, you're like struck by your dreams and the black wings that you saw in the dream and everything. And he says, this is as far as we will go. We have flown all night to reach here, and I hope you can make the city with the time that you have left, but they would carry you no further.
Okay. Thank you very much. We will do our best.
With that, the Pegasus turns and sort of pushes off into the sky and begins flying westward.
Kira turns around to everybody and says, "There's no time to waste. We must go now. Keep an eye on the skies."
I want to tell the group I have dreamed of this place and I have dreamed of death on black wings. We must go quickly and we must push aside the heaviness and remember the staff and the blue lady.
How far are we from a road? Because our fastest way is on the road.
It's not long before you spot a trail leading eastward.
All right, I'm going to just recommend that we go as a group up on and just break into a jog and see how far
Double
we can
time
get.
it.
Yep, double steps.
Yeah,
Let's
just
go.
Okay.
Benny, you want the front or the back?
Much
Leave
like
the term as haul ass.
like in Lord of the Rings, I can just see the dwarves saying, "We've got little legs."
So you guys are double timing it.
We're wasted over distance.
So I'll be at the back,
Yep.
and then whenever the dwarves start to fall behind, I'll just pick them up under my arm and jog with them for a bit till we catch up.
All right.
If they'll let me pick them up.
The grasslands, they soon turn to burned stubble underfoot after you've traveled for maybe an hour or so For miles, the once grassy plains are charred. The ashy taste of scorched earth laces the air, and large, heavy creatures have trampled the ground everywhere here.
This isn't right.
What do you suppose caused all this? This is
Rangers can give me a D100 check here.
Go Rangers, go Rangers.
Go Rangers. Go.
Oh, I did horribly.
No,
52.
actually, that's pretty good. You're trying to get low.
Oh, okay.
Lower the better for these track checks. Do you want to roll 2, Artemis?
You did.
I
Did
did.
she?
I rolled a
Did she?
60.
Oh, I totally missed that. I'm sorry. Okay, so what the two of you notice immediately is that there are draconian footprints everywhere amongst the charred ground here.
Okay, I tell the group. So, would it look like there was some kind of battle, or was it just looking for something, or fighting with anybody, or we'd see bodies, and wouldn't I?
Yeah, you don't see any bodies or anything like that. But the ground here has been trampled, both to the north, like from north to south, and there's burn marks everywhere. Like the grasslands have been ablaze here.
How does it sound? Is there is it pretty quiet?
Yeah.
Hearing kind of like wildlife or
No, it is pretty quiet.
what?
So by
Actually,
the
you know what?
ground
No, that's actually wrong. I apologize. As Tobin sort of like listens, he can hear distant thunder, and to the north, you can see storm clouds on the horizon.
I'll point that out to the party. So you probably maybe keep moving, see if we can find some shelter.
How far from the mountains are we?
Not long. You'll be there before nightfall.
So maybe we haul ass and take shelter in the hills.
I agree.
We can beat the storm.
Try to find some cover.
Yeah.
Both of the rangers, I'll let you know this. If you are to reach Zaxaroth, there will be no time to sleep for the next 2 days. You will have to continue moving non-stop, day and night, or you won't make it.
Then we're gonna have to go. We're just gonna have to hump it.
Yeah, then we're just gonna have to go.
I like having cardio.
Cardio. All right. So, as you continue to move eastward, let me find it here. Chill winds scatter the smoke from dying fires in the midst of a village ahead. Birds wheel over the motionless village, descending slowly among the huts. Everything else here becomes still and quiet. There's still a distant storm, and this ruined village ahead is burning and smoldering. This is most likely, for anyone who has traveled into the plains, this is most likely one of the barbarian villages.
Do we know the barbarians here? Do we know what they're called, who they're from, what they do?
Yep. So this area you would know is probably belongs to the Kushu. There's the Kukiri, Kute, and Kushu. Those are the most common barbarian tribes in the south here. If you were to go north from between the East Wall Mountains and the mountains by Solus, that then opens up into massive plains where there's even more barbarian tribes. But yeah, human barbarian tribes live here, and you think this is the Kushu.
You guys want to cut through the town?
If I know that we've got to hump it for 2 days to make it there, that means we're going to be a day short. I'm just going to advise, look, we don't have time to explore. We got to go.
What if they have
we just got a beeline.
Yeah, we just got to hump it and hope that we can find horses or find something that can help us make the next, make it there within a day.
Do you guys think we might be able to find horses at this village? Trade something. I'm sure they need things. If the place is burning down, I'm sure we could trade for horses. Make up time
You
that
don't
way.
you don't see any people in the town. You just see
okay.
burnt buildings and
This
smoke.
is just burnt. Let's just.
Like it's not burning down; it's burnt.
But
Yeah.
you can make
Okay.
there is a strange structure though that looks to be built just outside of town.
Well, we got to go that way anyway, right? To get to the mountains.
All right.
Let's just hit it on the way.
Yep.
So
Sounds
as you move towards it, just tell me who's in the lead.
Oh, I'm running straight ahead. That looks very interesting.
Okay, so Tobin's excited. So Tobin, they're gone. They're gone. The huts and tents of the Kushu lie abandoned. A strange creaking sound comes from the center square of the village. The birds stare coldly into nothing. They perch atop a strange construction thrown together in the center of the square. 2 stout posts have been driven into the ground by unspeakable force. Their bases nearly splintered in the impact. 10 feet above the ground, a crosspiece pole is lashed to the 2 upright posts, and all the poles are charred and blistered. 3 chains, the iron of each cold, but apparently melted into one piece of metal, creak in the wind. Suspended from each chain, apparently by the feet, is a corpse. Though blackened and seared, the 3 bodies are certainly not human. Atop the dark structure, a sign roughly clawed into a shield has been stapled to the crosspiece with a broken sword blade.
Whoa. Yes.
What does it say?
All PCs can roll a D100 to make out the writing through the burn.
No, I can't.
Okay, fair enough. No, you can't.
Do we need a sanity check?
No, you don't need a sanity check. Too much
rolled a 12.
Too much Call of Cthulhu. Okay, so anybody who's under 15, actually, Tobin can use his read languages, whatever that percentage is. Oh, 98, that's not making it. Okay, so it looks like Grenlead and Kira, the 2 of you can make out the writing. And it says, "Know ye my servants, the fate of those who take prisoners against my will. Kill or be killed. Verminard."
What language is it in?
What's that?
What language is that in?
It's in common, but with all the burnt, that was written, and then the fire happened, and whatever fire it was hot enough to melt the chains, and as they cooled, they just became one piece of metal.
Okay.
And you think the bodies are probably hobgoblins.
So maybe whatever this thing is on our side?
Know ye my servants, the fate of those who take prisoners against my will. Kill or be
definitely not.
Kill or be killed, Verminard.
I don't know. I didn't read this. I don't know, okay? I have the foreknowledge that all of you do.
Oh, I don't know I have never read this in my life, but anybody called Verminard just doesn't sound like a friendly kind of dude.
Yeah.
And when he's telling his soldiers, you either kill or be killed, you don't take prisoners, and if you do, I'm going to kill you. Well, real life, that's against Geneva Convention, so I'm going all in.
Yeah, I got to agree. And if we hang out and these guys come swinging through, who knows how much time that's going to take? We should probably just keep moving.
Yeah, and Verminard's violated all the principles of leadership that I just taught this week, so I'm going all in. Yeah, you
I'm
don't
going
abuse
to,
it.
as we head out, I'm going to pick up Grinnick and get him to haul some meat and stuff out of my pack while we run. So we can all eat on the go.
Though.
All right.
We'll spread it around.
So it's getting late in the day when you sort of reach the mountains.
Keeping us all fed while we run.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You're doing best to stay hydrated, right? Where's the Gatorade now? Gatorade sponsorships. Yeah. Gatorade sponsorships, please.
I prefer Powerade.
Oh, that reminds me, Jeremy. Don't let me forget. I got to tell you something after stream.
Okay. So here in the canyons of the Forsaken Mountains, a lonely ancient road lies broken and abandoned. Yet the grasses and weeds grow between the broken stones of the road. Yet the grasses and weeds growing between the broken stones of the road are trampled flat. A cold wind drives out of the east through the pass. Rangers are allowed to give me another roll here, please. D100.
D100? Yeah. Oh, that was bad.
Nope. Did I miss Kira's again?
I don't see Kira's.
Oh, no, sorry.
If so, I apologize. Okay. You don't pick up on it at first, Rook, but Kira, you can tell that many... You note the tracks of many human plainsmen fleeing into this pass. And then you also notice heavier tracks pursuing them, draconians.
Okay. I would for sure tell the group, but like I would also make sure that like Rook sees it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and once you point it out, Rook, it becomes clear to you as well. So this pass will lead through the mountains. And a storm is probably likely to occur tonight. The clouds overhead are darkening. You're getting a cold wind blowing down through this pass, and yeah, things are looking pretty bleak. Obviously, a large number of people have retreated from the plains through this pass, and they were pursued.
I mean, we don't have a choice. We have to keep going. At this point, we don't have a choice.
This is the sucky part of the adventure, where we just have to run, and we get some panoramic views from our little drones, cameras, and
exactly. It looks great.
They get to see me carrying dwarfs occasionally and sweating out my ear holes.
Out your yin yang.
If this was the 80s, it would be a training montage, but
it would be a total musical montage. You're absolutely right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Eye of the Tigers playing in the background.
Yeah, some power ballads going on for sure.
Yeah.
Like Lady Hawk.
I don't know if I have. Let me see if I have.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. He's gonna get distracted.
I'm gonna try. I'll try to play some music. I don't know if it'll work.
When Tobin thinks nobody's paying attention to him on the walk, he'll start looking at the scroll of music lessons.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Did you know Krynn is X amount? Yeah.
It is, clearly very basic music. Like it would be something you'd give a child. Yeah.
Huh. There's a thing called rhythm?
That's it.
There's
a cadence thing you've never heard of. Yeah.
What? What is this? Okay, so the sun descends, and it's dark as you push through the mountain pass until up ahead you start to see some light in the pass.
Well,
like firelight?
Like firelight, like a campfire, you think.
I'm at the back, so you guys have fun with this.
I say let's head towards the light.
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Just keep in mind there were draconian footprints as well as plainsmen, so maybe we should approach cautiously.
How about you guys?
Already.
How about you guys let me scout ahead? Because if we're seeing large amounts of draconians, there's probably an army ahead of us is chasing the barbarians to the sea. and I'm afraid we're probably going to hit the rear guard of it very soon.
Well, if we just split up and hit them from two sides, we can take them.
An army?
Like a pincer attack.
My friend, even as great as you are, we can't take an army.
You just wanted to use pincer attack, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
You just had to. The pincer attack.
Couldn't resist.
The horns of the buffalo.
Just watch out for ballistas.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff has a bad track
Don't lay
record.
on the ground. Ballistas will hit you in the face.
Okay, so everybody takes a breather. Particularly Worm. Worm is more than happy to take in some deep breaths and stop running.
Boy, you need more calisthenics. Add that to your training.
Rook, as you move ahead into the pass and sort of look over some rocks and whatnot that line the edges of the road, you do in fact see the source of the campfire. It's not a huge fire, but enough to light the pass. A light rain has just started to fall as you sort of look onto this, and you can see a group of hobgoblins, and you're pretty sure a few of the draconian men sitting around the camp. There's at least a dozen, maybe more, bodies around the fire.
Is there a way to get around these guys? Or is everything just burnt that there's just no way around?
No, you could certainly, if you're willing to do a little bit of mountaineering, you could totally leave the pass and try and get past them.
We don't have time for that. I have a plan. I get back.
There's only 12.
You do not sound happy about having a plan, man.
No, it's because it's. Did you guys ever see Little Red Riding Hood, like the cartoon thing, Under the Hood? Do you remember with the squirrel and the guy has to
do a
the
pincer
squirrel
attack.
coffee, and the guy has to get the squirrel coffee and goes, "May the world forgive me for what I'm about to do." That's the kind of look I got on my face, and I'm looking right at Tobin.
You're gonna send Tobin in.
I'm looking right at. I go, may the gods forgive me for what I'm about to do. Tobin, I need you to do what only you do best. You're gonna have to lure those guys away from the road so we can keep on booking. You'll meet us at the city. Can you do it?
A musical distraction.
I can absolutely do it. I run across. I grab, pull my guitar out.
You have to drop the Lion King line here. What do you want me to do? Dress in drag and dance a hula?
Yeah.
No, it's kind of like that.
Yes, I do. I want to see that.
What I'm about to do. I'm going to send him out to purposely cause a distraction. Not just to do it because he's by accident. I mean to go pull Tobin on their ass.
And then we charge.
This is why the gods sent me. It's going to be fine.
Instead of release the Kraken, release the Tobin.
Release the Tobin.
We're going to do E minor tonight.
There are limits in war, and I have now crossed one of those lines. I've released the Tobin.
And Grenly reminds, leave Steve's shield this time. Don't. Yeah. Okay. So Tobin. I'm gonna
put some space between me and the party.
Yes.
As I start moving to him. So if you guys are you guys trying to go around like to the right? Then I would want to lead them to the left.
Well, if you take
around.
If you take a look at the map, I need you to lead them to the plains so that we can go to the swamp.
Okay. I'm gonna just start.
There's only 12.
And kind of in a position where I can be a little bit away from them, but I'm gonna start just playing the guitar as loud as I can, and I'm going to start thinking of all the insults I can about scaly butts. And
scaly butts. I like scaly butts, and I cannot lie. Okay. Tobin, as you get a little closer to the camp, at first there's like maybe you're right. Yeah, there's maybe only 12, but then you get a little closer and there's more than 12 there. Like the camp sort of is on a bit of a ridge line, and like you're only getting the front silhouette. Maybe there's a second fire behind there, and yeah. So as you start to play your instruments and sing about scaly butts, you definitely get their attention. And then where exactly are we running? It's not that narrow a pass. Like, you can certainly go to the left and right of the camp, but yeah.
I'm basically trying to make as much of a distraction as I can to get them looking at me, so hopefully they can be kind of stealthy.
Oh yeah, you see one of the dragon men. They're like looking out, and then you can hear him. You can't hear what he's saying because you're still a fair distance, and the rain is starting to come down a little harder. He like points to the hobgoblins, and he's like, "Go get them!" And you see there's a good group of hobgoblins moving towards you from the camp.
All right. I was like, "Come speak with me," and I just start running.
And we execute the second Tobin maneuver of the campaign. Excellent. So,
as long as he doesn't die, it's great.
So Tobin lures the camp away. You guys,
idea, yeah.
The rest of you are sort of watching from a distance, and you see them all sort of. There's a good pile of them.
We're gonna hit their flank.
You don't know if all of them leave, but
okay.
A good portion of them have left. And it's raining now. There's a few flashes of lightning overhead, and I think that's where we'll wrap for tonight. Before we get into because there's still some. The camp is not totally deserted, so there's probably going to be some skirmish, and Tobin will have to make some rolls to elude his followers, and we will be back next Sunday for more Dragonlance, and there will be fighting in the East Wall Mountains, and then we'll see if the party can make it to Zaxaroth before the end of day 2. Okay, sound cool?
Right.
Sounds cool. That was a good night. We will see everybody. I'm gonna try to raid someone, which, as we all know, I am notoriously bad at, but I don't care. I'm gonna try to do it anyway.
You just
Come see us on Tuesday when we do Honey Heist.
I am notoriously bad at. Wait a minute. But where's Honey Heist? I'm gonna try to do it anyway.
It's gonna be on Vocterra. I'm running it on Tuesday.
Oh, on the Vocterra?
8 p.m. Eastern. Yep. Because I volunteered.
Because you volunteered. Yep. Who are we gonna raid?
Did you give us a Discord?
Did I give you what?
I was just asking if we could get a Discord reminder for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's raid total. I think we've raided total party.
I love
before.
the picture.
I know it's like a really psychedelic thing going on. I should do this so you don't have to. There you go.
Oh, Grouch Couch is up, and so is No Man.
Yeah. For you guys, go Google hoodwinked caffeine clip, and you'll understand the fear
that's
going
such
through.
A good cartoon.
It was going through Rook's mind when he was going released.
Hoodwinked is amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna raid the Grouch Couch because I like that name.
It's a shitty freaking cartoon, but my god, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that. I think I've done it correctly.
You think you did something?
The raid is beginning. We will see you next time.
Awesome.